character things in place. So like I said, this first session is a getting to know you, getting to know all about you session.
Like speed dating.
Yeah.
But much more sad.
Well, I'd aim for horrific, actually, Josh, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, well, you never disappoint.
Right, how's that? Let's put something.
There's that window gone now.
Yeah.
Did I close it?
The question is everything working? Is everything working?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Everything's live.
You don't know nothing.
That I can confirm everything is live.
Wow. Right. How everyone okay then? Are we all ready for this?
So excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Everything
is fine.
Everything's fine. So this is Dice and Anger, Curse of Strahd, episode 1. I'm Dave, Dungeon Master. To my right is Josh, who's playing Horace Belview. Need to change his name on the thing. Beneath him is our new player, Leah, who's playing Pippa Darkale.
Hello.
Come on, Leah. Top left is Tom, who's playing Farrow, Wyndam Farrowwood, Farrow for short. And bottom left is Sammi, who's playing Tala, Hallows. Is that right, Sammi? Tala?
Yeah.
Tala.
Tala Hallows.
Nice.
Just to be a twat.
Okay. So we just need you on map tool layer. Hopefully we're not going to have any technical issues this evening.
It's open, so that is phase 1 complete.
So if you go file, connect to server, it should all be set up for you to jump straight in. Hopefully.
We've got a couple of people in the chat already. We've got Passive Insight, who cannot wait for this, and Zach Edwards, who says, "Hello, peeps." Hi, Zach.
Oh, hello, Zach.
Hello.
And hello, Passive Insight.
Hello, Passive Insight. How do you know that?
Be Naomi.
How do I know it?
Yeah.
You can see him. I'm on the stream.
Oh. How'd you get on the stream? Oh, I don't want to.
I literally just on YouTube, and then because I'm subscribed to the channel, it pops up on my feed. So I just click in.
Oh.
And then
that's
the chat on
that's a series of words that I know what they mean, but together I have no idea.
I thought you were making a Passive Insight joke, Dave, to be honest. But...
Right. Come on then, let's begin, because we've got some ground to cover this evening. Farrow and Tala. Your journey, your hunt, has been long. It's felt like an age. You've been tracking signs of werewolves for what feels like forever. They always seem one step ahead of you. They always seem to move as you arrive at each town, village, hamlet. Your latest bit of information has revealed the location of a hamlet east of Daggerford on Farrowwood, which is the Forgotten Realms setting. You arrive at the hamlet, getting close to dusk. It's a very rural area, very fertile farming land. And as you across the brow of a hill, you can see the hamlet in front of you. And it, autumnal, starting to get dark, you would expect to see signs of torches being lit, fires lit, and life in this hamlet. These small 5 houses roughly placed with fields on the other side, but there is no sign of life at all. So Tom, if you would first, would you describe what we see as Farrow crests the brow of this hill?
So this kind of shorter cloaked figure, kind of wearing this long dark black cloak with his hood up, almost to hide his face, kind of crests the hill, and there's almost a look of nostalgia on his quite sallow face. He's got very sunken eyes with dark rings around them, and with like these dark amber eyes that kind of peer out from underneath the hood. There's quite a wistful look on his face as he kind of looks around a little, and kind of looks over to his companion. Very short, almost shaved, but kind of cropped hair. You just see the front of it, like a receded hairline, sort of starting to recede, and then poking out from underneath the hood as well, as he kind of twists his head, looking around.
Okay, so stood next to you then, Sammi, would be Tala, if you want to describe Tala.
So, also cresting over the hill, you'll see a human female, mid-20s, in a dull chain shirt, with like a brown shawl, almost hood sort of thing, that can go up if they wanted it to. The clothes clearly are not being taken care of. On the back, they have a shield. On the belt, she has a warhammer. Her hair, it's a crop of light and dark brown hair. It's quite messy. She also has sunken eyes, probably not to the point of Hallows, but they certainly have the dark circles. And she has auburn, almost golden eyes and flush red cheeks. And that is Tala.
Excellent. So as you crest the hill and don't see any sign of life, what do you want to do?
I think as Farrow kind of notices, he's going to reach back and kind of, first of all, pull his bow off his back, which should have been slung over one shoulder, always strung, but you know what, he wasn't carrying it in his hands as such. Kind of grab an arrow out and kind of knock it, but not draw it on the string. Just kind of look over to Tala and just say, this time of night, there'll be torches lit and there's nothing. What do you want to do?
I will do the same. I will pull my shield off my back and also pull out my warhammer and say, I can either create some light for us, or we can stealthily try and make our way to the nearest building without any light. Your call.
We want to be careful about being too quiet. We don't want to spook anyone that might be here. I get a bad feeling.
I mean, a chain shirt. It's not going to be that quiet.
Well, should wrap some cloth around that or something. I don't know. Yeah, just be careful.
So
Yeah, just you kind of carry on walking down the, kind of very aware now, kind of alert, looking for movement, looking for any signs of danger, but not in travel mode anymore. More, we might, there might be something afoul.
Okay, let's begin the first rolls of the campaign with 2 perception rolls then, please. Come on. Come on.
Make it big.
Big numbers. Big numbers! Yes!
Yes.
Nah.
Tiny.
Nah.
Right, so let me just adjust that. My OCD is going to kick off. With 23, you're absolutely positive that there's no movement. There's no signs of life in this hamlet. But you also, I mean, the fact that there's no signs of life is odd to you. You can see that there's doors slightly open, but there's almost a smell of cooking on the air. There's wood fire cooking, but no actual flame, no movement. So signs of recent life, but no actual physical movement. As you start to get closer, did you want to change how you're doing anything, or are you just going to continue forward?
I mean, he'll tap his nose, looking at Lyra like, can you smell that? Tara, sorry. I don't know where I've got that from. It's been a long time since I've read anyway. But no, I don't think so. But as we get closer to the buildings and it starts getting maybe close quarters, he'd probably shoulder the bow and loosen his scimitar in its sheath.
Okay. So as you get closer, you can see ragged clothes and cloth ripped and torn as sort of part of a shawl. The breeze picks it up from a doorway, and as it rattles around and it flutters close to you, and it looks like it's been ripped to shreds. As it sort of settles on the floor briefly, you can see that it's blood splattered as well.
Can I try and grab that?
Sure. Yeah, let's have a dexterity check then.
Okay. Oh.
On fire. Yeah. You grab it straight away. It's fresh blood. It is part of a shawl. The corners are frayed and ripped. This has been ripped off with spots of blood.
Okay. Is there anything I can roll to see if it's been done, like if it's been grabbed, if it's been torn by claws or by a sword or anything? You know, the nature of, or is that a bit too far fetched?
It's torn, so it's a clean. No, there's both. So it's the fabric itself is partially ripped, and then there's another tear which is clean. So it's a clean slash through, but then a rip as well. But you'd struggle to figure out what did it.
Okay. And he'll kind of, again, quietly, without saying anything, would show that to Tala. We'll get there eventually.
Tala.
Okay.
Tala.
Tala.
But then he'll tuck that into his belt. She's got it. And is there a particular house? Is there any smoke coming from any one of the houses if we're smelling like a wood fire?
No. But now that you're closer, you do hear what sounds like a wheeze, a breathy wheeze coming from the first house on the right-hand side to the east from the entrance, and you're pretty sure that this is the first sign of life that you've been able to ascertain, but it does not sound very well.
At that point, Farrow will defer to Tala.
So Tala will, with her shield in front, she'll go stand up by the door and using her elbow push the door open, keeping a shield in front, and step into the room.
Okay, so you can see just as you approach the building itself, the the wood on the door is splintered. The lock and what the closing mechanism, the handle of this door has been shattered. And as you shoulder open the door, ready for action, there is a bloodbath inside. It's covered in blood, spattered on the floor and on the walls, even on the ceiling. It's still dripping down, and you can see body parts, an arm, and a foot, and a hand, and you see in the corner, choking, wheezing, with her arm ripped off, a middle-aged woman. As she just rolls over onto her side, her eyes look towards you, very, very pale, and she will just say, "Save him. Save my Kellen."
I assume I cannot see any form of danger immediately in the room.
Perception check.
19.
19. Nothing else in the room that you can see. It is dark inside.
I'm going to rush over to her and I'm going to try and talk to her and ask her what happened, who did this, as I'm trying to apply pressure onto her shoulder.
Make a medicine check for me, please.
13.
13. You're pretty sure that her dying words were, "Save my Kellen." As you get to her, you can't feel a pulse. She's not breathing.
I mean, from mutilation and dishevelment in the room, can I tell if these beings were hacked apart, torn apart?
With a medicine check of 13, I will, in fact, have another medicine check then. So that was to check to see if you can help her. So you can have a slower, steadier check. 17's a little bit better. So you can figure out that she there's claw marks. It's rips and tears. As you look over some of the other corpses, I mean, you're not appalled by this. Tala wouldn't be. You've seen similar scenes yourself before, but there are bite marks as well, and these are large canine bite marks.
I mean, simply because a man's got to feed themselves, is there anything here with taking of wealth, anything food-wise? It's obviously not dismembered corpses.
Anything that you can see is covered in blood. So there would be a loaf of bread. There would be some cheese, but it would be blood soaked. Depends
Extra
how hungry
protein.
you are.
You cut the crust off.
I mean, hoping you hadn't soaked
Just eat the
through.
soft bread on the inside.
Just hollow out the loaf. I'll keep my voice low. I'll say to Fallow, it looks like they were here.
I agree. Is there an upstairs?
Did you want to take anything?
No upstairs.
No, I don't think they have anything worth us taking. But at that point, he'll pull the bow back out and says, then maybe we need to check these other houses if there's nothing in here.
I agree. I don't think that we're that far behind.
Okay.
So we will make our way.
Sure. So the other houses, there's similar scenes. There's blood, devastation, no signs of life. In the others, there's no intact corpses. There's just body parts and blood everywhere. Would you make a nature check for me, please? You can both do it. Why not? 17. Okay,
17.
it is as Farrow as you're checking the last house, as Tala's sort of looking through to make sure that you're safe. You do spot tracks leading to the west into a forested area. 17 is enough for me to tell you that they are canine tracks. They are large, you suspect, wolf tracks.
Question is, are we following them into the dark?
Well, we either follow them into the dark or we lose another day of tracking them.
As long as you're sure. And he's gonna take, start following the tracks.
Okay. I'll stick with the 17 that you rolled then, Sammi. So Tala, as you continue forward, Farrow, you're covering the corners, you're checking the angles as you enter this forest. Just as you enter it, the light is really dimming now. But the mist, or a mist, starts to roll in as well. Quite a thick, cloying mist appears from the ground and just pushes upwards. But Tala, you can see what looks like drag marks next to these paw prints, and then you see a small boot print of a boy or a child next to these drag marks, almost as if someone a child has been dragged and then has their foot down and then is dragged again further into the woods as the mist deepens.
The woman's child is. I think the woman's child is still alive, surprisingly.
Yeah, sounds like a snack for later. But, we need to stay quiet, stay alert. If they know we're following them, we could be in a lot of trouble.
That we could.
Okay, nice. So let's have the stealth roll then, if that's what we're doing, because we know that Tala's going to roll with disadvantage. Unfortunately, I think, aren't you, Sammi?
Well, I've just done a natural one, so
Yeah. Oh, swings and roundabouts. So you're struggling to maintain this to any form of pace and stay quiet. But you, as the mist thickens, the forest thickens, and nighttime dusk draw in, you can hear now to the north, so to your right as you're travelling west, howl of a wolf, and this is a distant howl. Instantly, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And as you look around and pause, everything is still and quiet. As you continue forward, the howl happens 5 minutes later in exactly the same position. But this time it's answered further to your west, a lot closer in the direction that you're heading. This time you continue forwards as quietly as you can, and you enter a small clearing. And then there's another howl to the north, and the howl to the west is a lot closer. Following that is an instant howl just behind you, and this is very close. As you spin round to the south, there's a snap of a twig, which is where we'll leave you two for a minute. So, Leah.
Oh, rubbish. Yes.
Pippa Darkale. You have just completed your geographical study of the Duchess Morwen's estate. You've been commissioned to create a map for it, which you've very diligently done. You're very pleased with your work. But whether it's typical for you or not, I don't know yet. Leah, we'll discover this as we go through the campaign. You lost the track of time. You were so engrossed in your work that dusk has descended. And you no longer have time to get back to Duchess Morwen's estate. Her estates, however, are very secure, very safe. You're in no fear whatsoever. So first question for you, Leah. What would we see as Pippa enters the campaign?
So Pippa looks up from the map. She looks around. She notices it's dark. She pushes back her bright red hair, casts her blue eyes around, and pulls just tentatively at her scarf, which is purple with silver runes across it, and leans against her staff. She thinks about how far she's gone, how far away is she from the manor. Is it worth walking back? Is it worth staying? Is there any
is there any
like a coppice of trees anywhere that I could sleep the night?
Okay, brilliant. So you won't get back before nightfall. It would be well into the dark hours before you get to the actual mansion. But you do remember there is next to the road an open field next to the road with a running stream next to it, plenty of space to camp.
Beautiful. So I head that way. As it gets darker to the point where it's going to start to get difficult to see, I will cast my first spell, touch the end of my quarterstaff, and cast light so I can see where I'm going.
Yes. First spell. Well done, Leah.
Thank you. And I will go where I know where I'm going. I've just drawn the map.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you know your way. You've just studied the last part of the map was a series of grassy knolls that you really wanted to make sure you were getting correct on the map. But the other side of these knolls, perhaps a mile, perhaps 2 miles or so, there is this road that leads back to the estate. And then 3 or 4 miles further on is this large open area. So you make your way down. It's a lovely evening. The moon is in the sky. Everything smells wonderful in the. It is kind of your natural habitat in the wilderness as well, isn't it? The outside. As you get closer to the where you're expecting to rest, you can hear first. You hear sounds of laughing and music, and you as your facial expressions have just displayed to you, is what's going on here. So as you get a little bit closer, you can see this grassy area. There's now 4 wagons, these sort of barrel-topped wagons. And these wagons are camped around a large blazing fire. And there's men, women, children passing round what looks like wine, playing fiddles, dancing, laughing. What do you want to do?
A party. I love a party. So she starts to whistle. She wants them to know that she's coming. She doesn't want to scare anybody and whistling is generally quite a jovial way of doing that. So she starts to whistle as she approaches, and the second anybody notices her or sees her, she waves her quarterstaff with the light spell still on and goes, "Good evening."
Okay. So you're met straight away with it's going to be a young girl that spots you first, and she's sort of quite shyly. She looks shocked, looks at you, and then runs straight back towards the camp. But this shortly after this, an elderly gentleman. This is a human male, well into his 50s, but he still looks quite spry. He moves well. He's got a walking stick, but he doesn't necessarily need it. And he will say in a very broad accent, it's an accent that you won't have heard before. I'm not very good at accents, but I'll give it a go. And he'll say, "Ah, little sister, welcome. Come join us by the fire."
Everything's fine. And on first inspection of this chap, can I notice any weapons on him other than his stick? Do I get any weird vibes about him, or does he just seem like the leader of the little caravan that's parked up?
Insight check, please.
Should be fine. I'm
Come on,
like,
Leah.
either roll really well or really badly. Those are the options that we have.
You're going to roll a 10 now, aren't you? Hey, 17. So
That's not
no
bad.
no weapons. He's plainly dressed, but it's close fitting. It's not exact. I mean, it is tailored, but it's not tailored by an expert. But it's simple colours, browns, greens, creams, things like that. There's nothing ostentatious about him. Tucked into his shirt, he does have sort of a yellow neckerchief type thing, which is the only bit of colour. You can see laughter lines around his eyes. You can see he's got very tanned skin. You can tell that he's weather worn, but you detect nothing but sincerity and honesty from this gentleman.
And with that inspection, I would love to.
Well, it is good.
Wait.
Go on.
Wait for him to turn his back.
Yeah.
And as he turns his back, I'll cast my second spell already. Blade Ward. Just in case.
Okay,
Just
sure.
for the first minute, just while we're talking. Just to see.
How would Blade Ward manifest on this occasion?
So it would just be because my quarterstaff is my arcane focus. So it would just be as I lean on my quarterstaff, I just lean it onto my shoulder. You just see the light spell just glows a little bit more, and there's just a tiny, maybe gently imperceptible shimmer around me.
Tidy.
I've walked up. I'm already shimmering.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
awesome.
Doesn't think anything too much of it, especially as I keep the light spell really close to me in an aim to guard it the minute or so that it's on.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So as he is turned away from you, he will say, "Come, little sister, come join us by the fire. You were expected." As he continues towards the fire.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you have some good mead.
We have no mead, we have wine.
Very concerned.
Yes.
Wine. Beautiful.
We have wine, the finest wine from the Wizards of Wines winery, no less.
Oh, well, not going to turn down an offer such as that.
So he sits down, and you can already see it's relaxed. Everyone sees you coming. There's sort of people acknowledge you. There's sort of hello, little sister, in various Eastern European accents that I can't do very well. But as he sits down, he sort of pats this larger log. He'll pat it, say, "Come, little sister, come sit near us. I have a story to tell you, if you will."
Love stories, and my halfling self pops up and gets situated. I'm tracking everybody, everything that everyone is doing. I'm checking everybody, not just for where they are or what they're doing, but like their rank and the structure. Like, who's the funny one? He's evidently the leader. Who's the funny one? Who's the one that everyone thinks is a bit silly? Just the social structure of the group.
Okay.
And I'd love to hear a story.
So everyone's quite differential towards this gentleman, who will say, "So my name is Stanimir." And Stanimir is very much the patriarch of this, of this group. But there's someone playing the fiddle who, as well as playing the fiddle, seems to be drinking the most as well. There's he's not necessarily with the children. In fact, there's sort of parents that aren't sort of saying don't go near him for any other reason other than the fact that he's a drunken crazy man. You know, there's nothing suspicious about it. But you know, come on, children, let's go and dance over here where we're not going to be knocked over by the drunken fellow type thing. But there's mums around. There's it feels very safe. It feels very warm and welcoming to you. But Stanimir will call over the wine, and this wine is it's delicious. You've never tasted anything quite like it. Yeah, it's like a full-bodied, proper grape wine. Red, or as red as blood. This wine is.
Tastes wonderful.
Yeah, the bottle itself looks very old, and there's a label on it that you can just make out Wizard of Wines, and then the rest of it is all scrubbed clear. This is a very old bottle of wine that you're being treated to. But Stanimir will say, "So, little sister, it is time for a story. You would like to hear, yes?
I'd love to hear a story. Love it.
I will tell you of a prince that came into our camp one night. We did not know he was a prince. He was injured, on the verge of death, and it is our custom to help those that are injured. And he recovered. After he recovered, he told us that we are in his enemy's land. And shortly after this, his enemies descended, and his enemies said to us, 'You have the prince. Hand him over, and we will let you live.' But we fought. We fought with the prince, and he fought with us. Many of our people died that night. This was a long, long time ago. Since then, this prince fell to evil. And we are looking for people such as yourself that can help redeem this prince. If you be brave and strong enough.
Well, I applaud your people for their bravery. I'm not sure I might be counted among them.
Oh,
Who is
we know
this?
you are. Madam Eva has foretold us that you will enter Barovia to help our prince.
Who?
Madam Eva, she told us you would arrive. She told us little sister will come in a ball of light.
Well, you can't argue that. Surprised someone like me would catch the attention of somebody like that. Is she a wise woman? Is she a witch?
She would, in your tongue, be called witch. Yes. She can see. Yes. I believe you also have this talent.
A little. I dabble. I try.
To be developed. I'm sure Yes,
Mm.
Madame Eva tells us that she would be able to help you in this land to help the prince.
And she can see people. She finds people.
Yes, it is a condition of the prince where he finds people, and Madame Eva guides those that the prince finds.
I think she sounds like somebody worth talking to.
She is expecting you.
Where is she?
Well, when we have finished here this
On the map.
evening, he'll say, there is no map to take you there. We do not use maps. The prince's land, only we can enter and only we can leave. When we are finished here this evening, you will spend this evening with us, and tomorrow we will point you on the right path.
Well, I can't say no to an adventure. And this madam can see and find, and this prince can do the same. I think that sounds like very interesting for my map work. On one condition, I was contracted to do the map for this area, and if I leave straight away, it kind of ruins my reputation a little bit. So if one of you could take my map back to the mansion, so it's like my contract's done, then yeah, a woman of my word.
A woman of conscience. This is good.
Cool.
This will help you. And he snaps his fingers, and he will call over the young girl that was startled by you in the first place. And he will say, this is Magda. Magda, you have a task from little sister. As Magda said, yes, dndbeyond.
Well, little one, you make me feel very tall.
Yeah, she's actually probably about the same size as you. I don't know. Let's say she's 7.
Yeah, I would be a little bit taller, an inch-ish. I stand up really tall on a slight hill. But being at eye level, I fold the map in that really intricately silly way that maps are always folded that just makes life infuriating. I fold it that way in an instant. I've been folding maps my whole life. And I hand it to her with my signature on it, and you take this to the manor, and you tell them that Pippa Darkale has finished her job and is very interested in further work if they've got anything else they need surveying when I'm back in the area, if you don't mind.
She looks over at Stanimir. Yes, little miss. Yes, mistress. She will say, and she'll take.
Oh, she's so cute.
I think that's the first time anyone's ever referred to me as cute in any capacity, even when I'm playing. Thank you very much. So, unless you've got anything else then for Pippa, the rest of the night progresses. In fact, I have a question for Pippa. It's fun. It's lively. It's rowdy. There's close to the knuckle, old man dirty jokes flowing around, drink, dancing. How involved would Pippa be getting with all of this?
Pippa is very good at being there without being there, being almost in the action without being in the action. She's around, she drinks, but not too much. She's aware of what she's doing. She's involved in the conversations, but never the lead, never the spotlight. Always likes to keep a conversation flowing, and we'll just add the little tidbits that are needed for the conversation to keep flowing. She's involved, but not too involved.
Cool. Like it. So the night progresses. It gets to the point where in which case Pippa would know her limits by the sounds of it. So you've reached your limit. It's well past your normal halfling bedtime, and the revelry is the revelry is still going on. So it gets to that sort of awkward bit where you're thinking, can going to get to bed yet. And it does sort of continue a little bit beyond that. Sooner or later, Stanimir will say, come, we have business tomorrow, people. We must rest for this evening. And everyone settles. Most people sleep outside. A few sleep underneath these barrel-top wagons. Not many of them retreat inside. Perhaps a couple of the children, the really younger children, go inside and get tucked up. But everyone else sleeps under the stars. It's a lovely, peaceful night, as I've said. So as you drift off to sleep, be warm and content, safe in the knowledge that you've done a good job for Duchy Smallwyn. And you've got adventure ahead of you, which is very exciting. You wake, however, and it's still dark. It takes a moment for you to realise that the darkness about you is because of a fog, a mist that has descended, as you remember where you are. But the mist is obscuring everything. You can still see this, the grassy area, but the geography has changed. The trees have gone from coniferous trees to deciduous trees. And all of a sudden, you're very frightened and alarmed that you are no longer where you were. And from the mist, you can see, walking out of the forest, 2 humanoid figures, which is where we'll leave you.
Well, everything's fine.
Everything's fine, Lou. Everything's fine.
Everything
Right,
right, Josh.
But thank you for your patience, Josh. It's your turn. So your story begins in a tavern. It's rowdy. It's a boisterous tavern. It's full of people. It is ale night in this large town that you are in at the moment. You've come there for a drink. You don't drink often, but when you do, and tonight you've decided it is my time to drink. So you've settled in. You're sat at a table by yourself. There, similar to how we ended. Well, middle point of Leah's situation. There's jokes. There's music. That the ale, the mead, and the wine is passing around. There's food. No one's particularly bothering you. You know the people of the inn. They know you, and they're quite happy that you like your own space, and no one. For reasons left unsaid, no one is approaching you. But after your second or third drink, and you're starting to feel that warm glow, and as you sit back, and you remember the reason that you're there, and you have a thoughtful expression on your face as the door swings open. Now, the door has been opening and closing all night. People coming and going. But this time stands out to you as the door opens. Everything around you goes quiet. And you can still see the revelers dancing, joking, but they seem to be going in slow motion. And they seem to be talking as if they were underwater, silently. This slow speech. As the person that enters the door, a slender human, black hair, black beard, bright yellow shirt, bright blue trousers, with these black boots with the gold buckles on, buckled belts, gold as well. As he looks around the room and he sees you, smiles as he starts walking towards you. And it's just you and him, and everything around you just seems this, you can't explain it. But as he sits down at your table, he reaches into his shirt and pulls out an envelope and places it on the table in front of you. And he will say, in an accent, and again, you wouldn't recognize this accent. And he will say, So there, young hero. I believe a fella such as yourself would be looking for adventure.
Well, actually, I was just about to see if the barmaid has an ale that tastes any more like piss.
I'm sure if we call her over, there'll be plenty of piss for you to drink. Do us a favour, because I forgot to ask. What does Horace look like?
All right. So Horace, as you say, sitting alone, big bastard, big guy, pretty like heavy set frame, probably stands about 6'7". He's not too old, but he looks like he's had a pretty rough time. Like he looks older than his actual age. He's kind of constantly got this like heavy furrowed brow and kind of a somewhat disturbed look on his face. His eyes are kind of wide, like he's on edge, and his eyes kind of like will be darting around the room like regularly, like as if he's kind of like looking out for something. There's a long kind of jagged scar that runs across his right eye, but his vision's not affected. He's okay. It's just signs that he's had a few too many scraps in his time. And he's quite hairy guy as well, but he's fairly kempt. He takes care of himself. His beard's trimmed short. His hair's also trimmed short. So he likes to try and keep up his appearances at least. But he's definitely a bit twitchy, a little bit on edge. He's kind of sat there, keeping to himself, just sinking some pints.
Cool. So this fella now, he sort of reaches, and you again, it just looks so strange to Horace. He seems to reach through this barrier, this bubble that has now developed around you and he. And as he reaches through, you can see he's reaching towards one of the serving women. And he grabs her by the arm. And as he pulls her through, there's sort of like a brief moment where you can hear the sounds outside, and all of a sudden she's through and she's sucked into your bubble. And as he just grabs her, roughly, and it's rude, it's straight away you're thinking, dick. And he'll say, 2 pints of piss there, my love. Off you go. He spins around, slaps her on the backside, and then she disappears through this bubble again. And you can see that she's looking around. She's probably used to it. How would Horace react to this, do you think?
He'd kind of just take a swig. He wouldn't react immediately. He'd take like a long kind of swig of his ale. Twitch a little bit, and then kind of just look him in the eye and be like, your mother must be proud of you.
My mother was a whore. You should meet her.
I'd rather not.
Well, I'm moving away from the point. Now then, this here. And he looks towards this envelope, and you can see it's a finely printed envelope. I was employed as a messenger from this town, this burgomaster, and he asked me to pass this on to someone who looked heroic. He seemed to fit the bill. And as he slides it towards you, you can see this envelope has a wax seal on it, a red wax seal.
Would I recognise the seal?
You can have a history check if you like. Well, there you go. Your first check's a history check, Josh.
Let's make history. Whoa, 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's get him out of the way early.
No idea. You've never seen anything like it before. It's in fact, if anything, you can tell that it's slightly melted. It does have a seal on it, but perhaps the seal has been there too long. It's been closer to another source of heat, and it's yeah. So instead of saying that you're inept on your first ever roll, it's the bit of wax that's been partially destroyed. It's not your fault, dude. It's not your fault. But this fella says, "Listen, I'll introduce myself. My name's Darkale. I'm from a traveling family, and we just came across this place. And this fella said, would you look out for someone heroic? And I'm just doing my job."
Well, thank you. I think there's not many who would think me heroic, but maybe it's working in my favor that you're not from the area. You don't hear the things that people say about me, the way they look. And then I take the letter and be like, and I guess I could use the coin. There is coin, right?
Well, I was promised some if I delivered it to someone who looked heroic. And I was told to say that there's plenty of coin. There's plenty of coin in your future if you follow the instructions inside.
So be it. And then I'd open up the letter, kind of take a look down, look what's inside. It kind of pause for a moment, as if something's just kind of like bothered him, something's just like ticked him off, and then he'd carry on with what he was doing.
Okay, so to this, you're used to this. Aragal to this has this moment where he's sort of, fucking right, I'm going to leave you to it, and he sort of stands and starts to back away from you and leave.
Look and be like, well, you're ale. You can't leave without it.
So the woman at this point, she returns, and she steps through this bubble, sound of laughter and music beyond, and as she slaps it down, he drains it in one. You can tell he wants to leave now. Again, Horace is used to this. You've unnerved him in the short period of time that you've been with him. Give me an insight check, actually, Josh, if you don't.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, now we're talking. Dirty 20.
That's better. So this fella is used to be the person doing the unnerving, and yet you unnerved him. And you can tell he's not happy about that. But he downs this drink in one, and then he goes to step and leave, unless you've got anything else for him.
I'd probably ask him. I'd probably like, what's the hurry? Why are you in such haste?
Well, I have to get back to my people. It was a pleasure meeting you. Follow the road to the west. You'll come across Barovia.
Barovia?
Barovia, where this fella wanted you to help. It's through the Svalage Woods. You can't miss it. Keep on going.
Very well.
Good evening to you, sir.
And you. And I'd kind of my eyes are just following him out the door.
Cool. So, what I'm going to do is hope that map tools behaves. As you open the letter, you can see This on your map tools, top right hand corner of on the select map bit. I've just opened one that I've called handouts. So there's a lot of information on here that needs to load. That's it. We're all on. Okay, so this is the letter inside. I do have. Do you want me to read you the what's it version so you're not because it's quite stylized writing, isn't it? So the letter says, "Hail to thee of might and valour. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honour to thee. We plead for thy so desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Irina Kalyana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine." And it is signed by Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you finish reading this, and you look up, you can see that Aragol's now gone. The door's shut. In fact, no, I'm going to style this ever so slightly differently, Josh. Just as you read the name Kalyan Indirovich, Burgomaster, the room returns, and there's this sort of type sensation where the revelry's back. You're back in your environment without this bubble around you. Aragol's nowhere to be seen, and you're sort of looking around. Everything seems to be normal now. What do you want to do?
I'd almost be in like slight disbelief. Like if it wasn't for the letter that was kind of in front of me, I would be like, that didn't happen. There's no way that just happened. But the letter's there, so I'm kind of like just kind of stunned for a moment, really. And then I think I will sink my ale that's been kindly bought for me. It would be rude not to. And then I think probably get another one.
Sure. So, did you have any other intentions for this evening? Did you have where would you like to progress the story? Would you like to do anything else? Or do you?
I think Horace's plan would have been get pissed. Probably doesn't have the money right now for a room, so would probably then just have every intention of just finding some barn or a stable or something and just tuckering down for the night.
Okay, sure.
Sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How old is Horace?
He's 27.
27. Sorry, I talked about you in the past tense. Then it's almost as if I've played Strahd before. So 27. So 27. So you still have a bit of a hangover in the morning, but not. It's not a crippling hangover.
Yeah.
As you manage to find some water to wash yourself down with in the morning. It's a bright sunny morning. You've got the day ahead of you. The letter said road to the west. Would you like to head towards through the Svalich woods to Barovia?
Oh yeah.
Good. Can you imagine if you said no? So you
No.
you what?
Roll the
Very
No, I
good.
burned the letter.
So you set off down the road. You're used to the trials of the road. You know you have travel around a little bit. You have provisions enough for a good few days. You're not worried about the length of the journey. You know the basic geography. The fact that Aragal mentioned Asphalish Woods and Barovia were a bit foreign to you. You don't recall that. But as you progress, getting closer to just beyond midday, the sky starts to darken, and you can and it feels like rain. Rain doesn't fall, however. What does is mist rises about you as you continue forwards. The mist starts to creep closer and closer and becomes thicker and thicker as you trudge along this road until you it becomes so thick eventually that you slow your pace and you're just going 1 foot in front of the other until you realize that your boots are no longer crunching on the road, on this sort of rough dirt road that you're on. Instead of a crunch, there's just the soft footfall of grass underneath your feet. As you continue forward, the mist still around you. The mist recedes enough, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of a forest. This forest wasn't here. It's not supposed to be here. What do you want to do?
I think Horace's immediate reaction would be not this shouldn't be here, but he'd be like saying it out loud. If I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't. This isn't how it's supposed to be. This doesn't seem right. And he'd almost be like muttering to himself, talking and saying, "Are you doing this? Is this something to? What have you done?" And he'd be kind of like looking around, scanning, trying to pick up any information that he could, thinking, "Oh shit, I don't know what's happening."
Sure. So you I mean, as you have this sort of this dialogue out loud, for the first time in a long time, there is no response. There is nothing. But you still sense the presence. You still know that you know you they haven't gone. But they are frightened.
And again, he's kind of vocalize out loud, you know, his thoughts. He'd be like, "Afraid. This can't be. This doesn't seem right." And then he almost kind of just shake his head, and say, "Well, we're here now." And then carry on walking.
Okay. So as you walk, you hear howl of a wolf in the distance, and then more wolves all around. And then, as you emerge from, it's a game trail, a very slender game trail, into a clearing, your foot falls and snaps a twig. As you look up, you see a human figure with a hood up and a human female stood next to him with warhammer and shield in hand. And then just beyond them, you can see a halfling that seems to be just on the edge of this clearing. Have at it.
So, and he kind of hears that stick snap. He's going to spin. He's going to see Horace and go, "You're not a fucking wolf, are you? You're fucking big enough."
Mm-hmm.
Turn around
Fucking
the other way,
hairy
see the
enough.
halfling. He's like, "Funny looking fucking wolves."
I think Horace would immediately like pull this massive fuck off greatsword off his back, and he'd be like,
What light do we have, Mr. DM?
It's
In the very
very
short moment, my light.
okay. Okay, yeah. So as this is happening, you've got the two testosterone fueled fellas at the top drawing weapons. It's darker than you expect for this time of day. For Pippa, it's morning. For in fact, I'm going to backtrack. For Pippa, it's mid morning. For Horace, it's sort of late afternoon, mid to late afternoon. For Farrowwood and Tala, it's supposed to be in the middle of the night. Farrowwood and Tala, you had a moon above you, despite the mist, but now the light is. It seems to be a heavily overcast evening light. There is no moon. The moon has disappeared. And this heavy mist is still all around you as Pippa stands up and casts douche.
A bit of light. I guess we're all lost, or am I just lost?
We're about to be attacked.
We were following wolf tracks, so I hope you know how to use that, big lad. So Farrow probably comes up to your chest. He's about 5'9", 5'10". So he's like, I hope you know how to use that, big lad, because we might be in a world of shit.
I did hear noises, but that's nothing new.
From what
So we're all
direction?
lost. And we're all following, and you two are following wolves. I'm gonna
We hope.
come over to you guys. We could stand in a circle and be safe.
I think Tara's just going to be stood there with fucking Warhammer, just like, what is going on?
We heard them from north, west, and east.
No, we heard a howl to the south, and then we heard a twig snap, and we turn around and we see Horace.
Okay.
Though we don't know it's Horace.
Yeah, just a big dude with a sword.
We see a big dude with a sword. So I will turn to big dude with a sword and say, which direction did you hear the noise? Which direction did you hear house?
Which direction was it? Sorry, Dave.
You heard the same as the others. So it was north and then west, and then north, west, east, and yeah. But yeah. So it was kind of all around. Is the short story. But the closest was sorry. I thought I'd have a chance to do technology. I'm no good at multitasking. And done. So yeah, the closest was west, east, south.
Nice.
So, okay. I would, relay that, but it's almost like as I'm saying the directions, I'm almost like looking around, but like in just all over the place. I'm all over the shop. I'm flustered. I'm like on edge.
I'll have a listen, see if I can hear anything.
So
sorry.
There's no. Well, I'll just clear this up first. There's now no sounds. There's no howls. Nothing in the undergrowth seems to be moving. There's a breeze shifting through. But as you stood on high alert, all sort of looking around, nothing seems to happen. And then there's sort of like this stagnant pause, this pregnant pause. Nothing seems to be approaching.
Can I have a look around and see if I can find the tracks that we were following?
Sure. Make a nature check for me, then, please.
They've changed nature to an intelligence skill. I don't like it.
Oh, what a shame. It's an intelligence skill now.
So did I say nature? Roll survival then. Sorry, Tom. Don't. It should be survival anyway. I don't know why I said nature.
Wink.
Not much there.
There are no tracks.
Yeah, so Farrow's going to look at Tala and just say, we either lost a trail or something really funky is going down.
I vote really funky because I was just at a party and I'm no longer at a party. So I vote weird stuff.
You're definitely at a party out here.
I don't feel like this is a party. I'm Pippa. That's names. We're not scary creatures right now. I hope you're not scary creatures right now. I'm Pippa, and you guys?
Farrow, this is Tala.
Farrow. Tala. Tala. Nice.
I'm Horace.
Cool. So we're all
I'm gonna
lost.
turn to Horace and go, at least we don't think there's any creatures.
Fingers crossed.
Horace is like,
hairy dude.
Oh, I am like,
he's like looking over his shoulder.
Pippa's as close to at the moment it's like the biggest, scariest thing here as she can be without being like socially awkward. Because if something's coming, then that is the target that she would like to be behind when it comes. So I was at a party. You were following werewolves, was it?
Well, something canine like took a little boy from Daggerfall.
You were in Daggerfall.
Well, something tells me we're not in Daggerfall anymore. We're in some fucking woods. But yeah,
Oh,
we were
mate.
in Daggerfall.
Where
I
were
don't
you?
think any of us know where we were. Yeah, well, I would remember where I was, but I can't remember. Leah can't remember, but Pippa knows everything. Pippa knows where she was.
So what I like to do, we haven't had a chance to plan this, is what I like to do is establish the alienness of where you are. So if one of you was in Faerun, Forgotten Realms, the other one was in Greyhawk campaign, the other one came from Dragonlance, from Eberron, from somewhere. So you soon establish that you're from different worlds.
We are not in Kansas anymore. Kansas. Oh, it's a little. Don't bother visiting. It's just it's a little place. I think it's maybe even not as weird as here, wherever here is.
I thought I'd gone mad.
Maybe we all have.
There's plenty of time for that, mate.
There's some. I was given. Well,
Get it out, big man.
my memory's hazy, but I was also. You can't really call it partying. I was drinking alone last night. But some stranger approached me. He gave me some letter. Sounded strange. Gave me the name of a place that I wasn't familiar with, and gave me directions. I assumed, well, he said there'd be coin involved, and frankly, I need the money, so I followed his directions. But there was something strange about him. I can't help but feel like this is all connected in some way. And then Horace would kind of like pull out the letter, which is probably like at this point it's all like crumpled up and a bit of a mess. Because he had just like stuffed it in a pocket or something. And he kind of just pulls it out and just says, does any of this make any sense to any of you guys? And then he'd kind of pass it, maybe to Pippa, because she's probably closest.
Yeah. Can I have a look at it? See if I recognise anything about, and plus smooth it out because I can't do that to paper. So don't make it obvious that
Tala
I'm
will
smoothing
sort
it out.
of
But
lean
I might...
over her shoulder as well, look at it.
Oh, and as I notice the lean, I hold it so that the others can see it.
And then I'm just kind of like
I'm trying desperately to like smooth out any wrinkles. Poor paper.
Farrow knows when he's out of his depth, so he's just going to keep an eye on the surrounding area.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, so you can see handout one as you have in front of you. None of these places, none of the names make any sense. I mean, you can all have a history check if you wish.
Awful. No, I'm too busy
12.
making sure the people's not hurt.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you what I'll do. Okay, because this is just, again, it's a discussion that we've not had a chance to properly set up. But you and I did mention something just before we started, Tom. So as you're reading through, it will say Pippa says, none of you have heard of Barovia. Horace was mentioned to Horace as the place, the destination to help the burgomaster. But for Farrow, you remember reading the word Barovia in your book, and it's in reference to a place that you want to avoid, where there are lots and lots of the subject matter of this particular book.
So yeah, Farrell will reach into, maybe he's got like a little, he's got a backpack, so maybe he's got it to hand, and he'll pull out this kind of battered copy of a Van Richtengeist and Monsters, and he's going to hold it up. He says, the only place I've heard of Barovia is in here, and if what I read in here is true about Barovia, it's not somewhere we want to be. Or, well, certainly not a very nice place. I won't make presumptions about where you guys like to frequent, but certainly not somewhere friendly. I'm going to put the book back in his backpack. I hope you know how to use that sword there, mate.
Oh, it's just decoration.
Well,
The pusher falls closer to Farrow.
Well, what exactly is it that this book says about Barovia?
what does this book say about Barovia?
I knew that was coming up. So it mentions, in terms of the subject matter of the book, a lot of the research that Dr. Rudolf van Richten, that you've read about in this book. He's studied monsters all of his life and hunted monsters all of his life, and the origin of a lot of these monsters, or at least there's evidence to suggest that there's a large population of a lot of the subject matter in here. So it will tell you a lot about werewolves, about ghosts, about wraiths, about spectres, about hags, about vampires.
He's just kind of going to shoot Tala a look, but he's not going to say much on that score. But he'll say, we're let's just say there's some, he's going to list off, do you know what I mean? He'll list off, because, these things inhabit Barovia, so perhaps we should be on guard and perhaps not stand around having a confab in the middle of the woods. So I would suggest that we pick a direction and we start moving.
Shall we go north?
Yeah.
Yours
Seems
is
like
good
as
as any.
as any.
You're so close to make her feel more like confident, and goes north. Hopefully, in this place, she knows where north is.
Horace would quickly just be like, may I have my letter back?
Oh, sorry. Yes, here's your letter. It's smooth if you fold it in the middle. Then it slips in pockets
He
really
just
easily.
stuffs it back in his pocket.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Everybody's different. North. Looks north.
Wonderful. So as Pippa moves off, the three of you are surprised by how the halfling seems to know exactly where north is. You've been spun around, and with some certainty, Pippa's just started off north. It's like, how does she know where north is? But she's that certain that you do follow along. As you
Walking
trek,
speed.
yeah. Well, no, because you now have a speed of 30. I like that they've done that for halflings and dwarves. It felt rude.
Am I still on 25? No.
No,
I'm keeping up.
30. Yeah. So you head off into this thick, dense, coniferous forest that isn't supposed to be here, as the mist still descends. The mist itself seems to be moving in a strange way. You all individually start more than once, and after the first person's done it and you think, weirdo, you catch yourself doing it, and then the next person does it, and there's something. It's like almost as if as it's sort of blowing, undulating, almost like a mouth might appear, and then you can hear, and then it just blows and disappears. It's it's unnerving. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it'll be like fucking with Horace. Like it almost be getting progressively more agitated the longer that we're traveling. I think at first it'd kind of just be like, again, just like his normal twitchy looking around, but then it's almost starting to get to the point where he's almost like jumping, where he's like, oh, like kind of reacting to it.
Yeah, Farrow will put a hand on his shoulder, quietly say, "Hold your nerve." Yeah, go like that. Maybe on your forearm.
Sorry.
Mate, I'm going to be lucky if I come up to your knee.
Tala will look behind, see, like, obviously, big guy is starting to get a bit skittish and think, shit. So she grabs a warhammer and she taps a shield, and on the front of her shield she has a holy symbol, and she just casts bless on everyone.
Papa bless.
Awesome. Yeah, brilliant. So what does bless look like when you as it descends onto everyone or goes onto
everyone? So as she taps the front of her shield, there's like almost a silver glow that comes off, and it just swirls around everyone individually and almost just is absorbed by them. And
Okay.
it just has a cool relief to it.
Nice. Okay, so you'd pick this up as well. I know that specifically the mechanics of the spell is 3 creatures, but we'll for these purposes, for why you're doing it, why Tala's doing it, it would affect you as well. And you feel this relief, all of you, from this mist, from the otherworldliness of where you are. You feel this momentary release as this holy woman blesses you, and you're in an attempt to keep you safe. But it only lasts for a short period of time. But as now you've received this blessing, this peace, the horror of the situation returns. And it's shocking. It's desperate. Then what happens as you're traveling north? the mist in front of you becomes a lot thicker. And you notice that in the woods you pass onto a road, and the road seems to be travelling west. And the mist surrounding the wood and the forest around you seems to be closing in. As to the west, the mist clears slightly.
Might I suggest we follow the road? Roads tend to lead to somewhere, and somewhere is somewhere I'd like to be right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Anywhere but this forsaken mist.
Onward.
The fellow will drop back into the rear guard. Bring up the rear.
So just for the sake of argument, what this you come to a crossroads. So I'm going to present this to you just to see what decision you're going to make here. You come to a crossroads now, as the mist, as the mist is all around you, and you can see that the road is turning south and north and west, but the mist closes off north and south, and only west is open to you in front of because of the mist. What do you want to do?
Is it just the mist itself? Like, is it almost like literally like when we're looking at it, you can almost see like these walls of mist and this clear like path.
Yes.
I think somebody's trying to tell us to go west.
I don't know who could have such power, but I don't like any of this. I should have stayed in that bar and drank myself blind.
Well, then you wouldn't have seen the mist. It's one positive, I guess. At the moment, we don't know anything. If we get led to a trap, at least we know we're trapped. Knowledge is power.
The situation.
At least we know who's messing with us, if anyone's messing with us.
I suppose so.
The mist might be... The lack of mist might be friendly.
The lack of mist.
Maybe.
See what's coming.
Which could be friendly. Potentially.
Tala's just going to scoff and just start walking west away towards the clearing.
I hope you're right. And he's going to follow Tala.
Me too.
Okay. So, so the first part of the actual campaign, I'm going to read out to you. So, apart from the handout, the fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming grey in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings to the cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence. And what I will now give you is this image from the campaign. I try and share as much of the campaign art as possible. There is Curse of Strahd's a wonderful campaign because there's so much fan art that I can nick off the internet. It's all perfectly free. It's not that no one's copyrighted it. But this is from the campaign. As the fog seems to be doing as exactly as you've deduced, it seems to be pushing you further west through these gates. As you progress through the gates, you continue, and you suddenly realise that the light is starting to shift. It gets slightly lighter. You surmise, or at least Pippa would probably be the best at surmising this, that it seemed to be morning when you met, and it's possibly closer to the middle of the day now, but it is still incredibly dull, very overcast, and this mist that's to the north and south, and now to the east as it's closing behind you, is impenetrable. As you progress, do you wish to do anything else?
Can I cast Gust and just see if the mist moves if I play with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me an Arcana check, please.
23.
23. 23 is good enough for me to say to you that, yeah, Gust moves this mist out of the way. Would you be doing this surreptitiously, or are you quite openly displaying your talents in front of your...
I'm showing them. I've cast light. I cast Gust.
So what you would see is how does Pepper cast this? Did you want to style it anyway, or is it just a...
It's just a flick, like
Nice.
in the kind of gust. Instead of a forward gust, like she's pushing, she's just trying to spin the mist. So she just flicks her wrist. And
Okay.
oh, it does move.
Yeah, it does, and you get reasonable control of it as you flick your wrist. The bit of mist that you're trying to spin and play with does spin.
Yeah.
And then as you're spinning it, and you're sort of pleased with yourself, and there's this sort of little moment where it's like, "Oh, I hope they don't think I'm showing off." And as you turn back to this, or perhaps maybe people would think, "Oh, I am showing off. Yeah, see look what I can do."
I'm playing. I'm trying to see if the mist is something I can manipulate.
So as you manifest this magical ability, as it spins, it stops and freezes, and it's motionless, and then it spins slowly round as this mouth opens, and then it just disappears as the rest of the mist is filled in with this impenetrable barrier of, well, it's mist, it's not impenetrable, but it's a barrier of mist.
Likes when we mess with it.
I think Horace would almost be like, as like Pippa turns around, Horace would almost be like flicking his wrist trying to do it as well.
Yeah,
it's not working.
I had to read a lot.
Oh, I'm terrible at reading.
Barrow's just kind of at the back judging, doesn't say anything, but he's watching you both and silent judgment. Or, wow, weighing, not judgment. Judgment's the wrong word, but no, he's definitely weighing.
Okay.
Alice just observing the mist. It changes its form and changes to a mouth. Reverts.
Yeah, other than the, because you see occasionally you'd I mean Tala would definitely, and Farrow as well, you'd see the occasional snarling jaw in the mist, and then it just sort of disappears. It's not right. And for you, Josh, Horace, you've still not had any contact. You've still not heard. There's just the four of you. That that there's nothing else around. There's still the presence, but there's no communication. But as you continue, and you're assessing your situation, thinking as individually what you're going to do, it would be Farrow that you detect a scent on the air, and it smells like death. What do you want to do?
I just kind of make a low whistle, so he's not going to speak. And and he's going to point to his nose and point to the air.
Okay. You all detect it.
Well, yeah. I don't know whether Horace and Pippa would understand what he's getting at, but I think he and
Tala would.
Tala have been traveling long enough to know that, something, he's picked up on something.
Yeah. If Horace can smell it as well, then he wouldn't say anything.
But you can all smell it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
It's sort of a universal gesture, if you don't mind me saying, Tom. But,
Yeah. 100%.
but it's Farrow. You would be able to tell that it seems to be coming just off the track, and the mist seems to be receding in the direction of the smell.
No.
Farrow would go and investigate, kind of slowly, kind of watching the mist. Maybe even indicate to the others with his hand just to stay back, and he'll kind of shoulder his bow, slide his scimitar quietly out of its sheath, kind of slowly make his way over.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
The great sword is coming out, but I'd be kind of holding back.
Tala would
as far
still
as-
be stood there with a shield, a warhammer out.
Okay.
Waiting, listening, trying to hear anything.
Sure. So the foul scent leads you to a human corpse. It's half buried in the underbrush, about 15 feet from the road. The young man appears to be a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have been at the body, which is surrounded by paw prints. The man has obviously been dead for several days. He holds a crumpled envelope in one hand.
I mean, that's correct.
Farrow will try and obviously kind of manipulate gently, trying to show as much respect for the dead as he can, but ultimately he's having his envelope. Do you know what I mean? So if he can do it gently, he will. If he can't, then he can't. But he'll do his best to be gentle to retrieve the envelope.
Okay. The envelope is tight in this young man's grasp. You're gonna have to break fingers to get it free.
Feeling a little bit exposed, I think he's just gonna deep sigh, bit of a regretful look, and then just shrunk straight through the rest with his scimitar. Just got the hand free.
Sure.
And then move quickly back to the party.
Okay.
And then once he's back in the safety of people, he's going to start retrieving it.
So the three of you now see Farrow return from the underbrush with a decomposed human hand.
I would just slightly raise my eyebrow, but not say anything.
And he'll just say paw prints. And then he'll start trying to manipulate the fingers to get it free.
Okay. Yeah, they come open quite easily.
And then obviously he'll open it, but he'll hand it to Pippa.
Okay. Here is. We're going
Is
through
it
these
already
envelopes.
open, or is the envelope still scrunched together?
The envelope is still scrunched together.
So, looking at the outside of it before I even open it, is there any marks on it? Any writing like to Jim Bob from this place on the front? Anything sticking it down? Just looking at the outside of it.
How did you know his name?
No, it is a plain envelope.
Just that smart. I know everyone. Yeah, she opens it. Looks
Sure.
looks at the letter, and doesn't like conceal it to herself. She holds it openly to the group, so anybody that wants to like look over shoulders, which is not particularly difficult, can do. I'm like 3'9" on a good day.
You've kind of got your own Scooby Doo gang looking round the corner, haven't you? In height.
I just be like this, and everyone is like here. I can just see directly down. But yeah,
Okay.
no concealing, no hiding from the group.
Sure. So
My
inside is another letter, a handwritten letter. This one says, again, hey, we got a cat. Hello, cat.
Oi, oi.
Alex.
Hello, Alex. This letter says, "Hail to thee of might and valour. I, the Burgomaster of Barovia, send you honour with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolyana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So, I say to you, give us up for dead, and encircle this land with symbols of good. Let holy man call upon their powers, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster."
That sounds like familiar people.
Yeah, I was starting to worry that I wasn't going to get any coin for this.
Well, I guess you'll get a bigger share because this guy's not collecting. That's positive. That is a positive to be drawn from this situation that we are in.
Everybody's dead.
Yes,
Well,
and if
we don't
everybody's
know that
dead,
for sure.
well, I think if everybody's dead, then everybody's not going to be able to. I am struggling for positives, but there are somewhere, if we look very hard, all positives.
We don't know that they're all dead.
And we're not dead.
Leave them to die, and we're not dead.
That's positive. You find something.
We're also dealing with vampires.
How would
That
it
have been
be?
here 400 years plus.
Yes.
And
Yes.
their paw prints around the body.
Great.
I must say that these are not beasts I'm particularly familiar with. I prefer to, tend to deal more with people.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Who has dealt with unnatural beings before? I already know you.
I already know.
But they don't.
No.
I don't know about dealt with, but I've certainly encountered my fair share.
I seem to be the novice in the group.
Horace, you've encountered werewolves, vampires, ghosts, undead things.
When you say the word ghosts, his eyes are like they widen up again, and he just nods. No vampires, no werewolves, but ghosts I'm familiar with.
I thought of just look at Farrow and just be like, I don't think we're going to find anything of normal or normalcy here.
Well, misery begets company, as they say. I would suggest, at least for the short term, we stick together. We don't know where we are. We don't know what's going on. I know we don't know each other, but
how would it be that person? How would they have gotten this letter?
one mystery of many mysteries.
Mysteries we will never know how to solve.
But perhaps if we push on,
Mm.
maybe we can
You
find
will.
this burgomaster or
Yeah.
somebody.
I think finding anybody at this point would be good. Somebody that information is power, and we don't have very much information right now, and that's not a positive.
Hey, would I know what a burgomaster is? Because Tom, the person, doesn't know what a burgomaster is. What you know?
Yeah. Well, let's. Yes. No. Yeah. It means mayor.
Okay.
Not someone that grills meats and sandwiches it between buns.
It's every campaign.
Oh,
I can't get
We
through a
win.
campaign of. Yeah. So what's going to happen now? The mist from where you found the dead body is closed in again.
oh,
And everything seems to be leading you in westerly direction.
we are rats in a cage.
And all we can do is follow the tunnel.
I think Horace would. Oh, no. I think maybe almost kind of being a little bit inspired by Pippa in some ways, seeing that she was able to manipulate the mist while my greatsword's out. Just almost kind of a little bit like thinking about some kind of a bright idea, but also out of like frustration at the mist and having closed off right in front of us again. I'd strike at the mist.
Sure. Yeah. So the mist passes where you part as it slices together, slices apart. Very briefly, as it slices apart, the mist beneath looks almost as if it's dripping, almost as if you've caused a wound, and there's blood appearing from the mist as then it closes. As you slice it, the blood appears as if it's dripping down, and then through where you've slashed, you can see two sets of eyes, red eyes, looking directly at you. And from the mist leaps a wolf.
Things
This
fine.
wolf is the size of a cart horse as it bares its fangs.
Fire wolf.
Two other wolves leap out, and then a fourth to the side.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
Really?
All right. Yeah, let's get at it.
This is going to be fine.
Oh no! I was like, this is a bad idea, but I'm curious.
Okay, let's. That's what we're here to do. Roll some dice. Right. Hopefully, you will have a map.
It's just loading.
It's loaded. Yeah. Do we? Because we normally finish around 10:30. Have we got enough time to do this, or do we need to finish the session here?
No, I'm good. Yeah,
I'm good.
Game on. Right,
Oh,
we'll wait until this
goodness.
later.
Dave's just
I
like.
do, however, I just need, I'm going to be 2 seconds. I can still hear you. 2 seconds. I've realised I'm not doing something.
I have no idea what he just said.
I mean, well, he's not done something. Clearly, the first thing that when Tom returns is, what were you doing, Tom?
What are you
Right.
doing?
So,
Look, the
have you all
heating's
got-
still on. That's the problem, and it's
Oh.
absolutely sweltering in this house.
Heating
is
is
it?
Now,
on.
yeah, but the problem is the heating. It's the house's ambient temperature is higher than what the heating's set to, so the radiators won't be on. But I'm turning it off because this house is sweltering. It's going to kill me. It always holds the heat upstairs better.
Mine's
It's not on
happened like
downstairs. Sorry, buddy.
okay. The first thing I'd like you to do, what I'm going to do, because it was actually Horace that sliced through. So I'm just going to move your token to there, Josh. You're right at the front. So can you remember how to roll initiative, Leah?
No, I pretty
Okay,
much
no,
touched
that's-
my character and
that's
then roll
alright.
initiative. I'm gonna. Boom.
Click.
You got it. Right, who we're missing?
Did I do it? That is.
Oh, sorry,
incredible.
I haven't done it. Sorry.
That
Sorry, Josh.
fills
one
me
sec.
with
Alright.
joy.
Initiative.
Okay. All done? All happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
No.
first in initiative order is going to be what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat slightly. I'm going to put that direwolf there and that direwolf there. So direwolf number one, the one that's just leaped out of the mist, is going to charge forwards towards Horace. It will try and bite you as it
Okay,
rolls a
okay.
10 to hit.
No, sir.
That's what we want. Tala, from the party, you're the first to react. What would you like to do?
So I assume it is daytime.
It's overcast light. Yeah, it is daytime. It's not pitch black. You can see what you can see.
So I think at this point she's. Yeah, I think she's probably gonna run up to here, and she's going to give a whack with her warhammer.
Also,
Okay.
you got to.
Yeah. So you've
Hang on, put it the wrong way around.
You're getting excited, Sammi.
I am, and I don't think I've hit.
Well, you've put
Nice.
yourself in a flanking position.
Nice.
Is it still flanking? Because
Yeah, that's fine, mate. I'm quite happy with that. So you can roll again if you wish.
Ooh,
Nice.
20.
Okay. So what Farrow's seen this before. Farrow knows what Tala's about, but it's the first time Horace and Pippa have seen. So you've gone the other side of this dire cart looking wolf without hesitation. Tala's just charged in. What did it look like? How did you get past it? How did you get around it, Sammi?
So as I've seen it jump straight out, going into Horace's direction, still obviously holding my shield, I've literally just sprinted full belt at it, using my shield to kind of plug the way, like plug by its face, and slid up to its back end, and just taken my warhammer and just gone and swiped it into its back legs.
Yeah. So as your shield's up, it snap, and you take it on the shield. Roll your damage as you hit its flank.
Let's go.
So I did roll damage first, so I don't know if you want to use that damage.
It's up to you. You can re-roll it, or you can keep the
may as
4.
well.
Keep the 4. Done. Okay.
Just keep the 4.
That takes us
Nice.
to werewolf number 1. Oh dear. It has to come down the cliff slightly. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna check its movement. I think it's got more than 40. Yes, it has, and it's going to try and bite at Pippa.
Yep, go for it.
It's a 7 to
It's
hit.
good. 7. Haha. Rebuff you with a 10 armor class.
What's up?
So direwolf number 3
Huzzah!
now is going to move to the edge of this cliff here. For future reference on map tool, as I'm moving, if I keep left click down, if I press spacebar, it creates a pivot. So if I press space there, I can do this sort of funky thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, not that we need to know. But he moves to there and he's going to attack Horace.
Yes, sir.
Right. So he has pack tactics. The wolf has advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet of the creature. So he is going to attack with advantage against Horace. That's going to be dirty 20.
That hits.
6 points of piercing damage.
Oh boy.
And you are now prone as it bears down on top of you and starts snapping against your arms. Let's give you
So
prone.
good. That ain't so
Yeah.
good.
It is Farrow's turn. Ooh, are you muted, dude?
That would help, wouldn't it? I think he was originally tracking Direwolf 3, so I think 1 might have caught him by surprise. So I think as he sees that, he's going to drop his longbow, because I think he would have had that out. He'll draw his scimitar and his short sword. Going to move round there. And then he's going to have a go at the direwolf. Now, I was just looking. So I have weapon mastery with the scimitar, which means I have nick. So I can make an extra attack of the light property. I can make an extra attack with a weapon of the light property. I can do it as an action rather than a bonus action, the additional attack.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
It does.
What I was looking for is 2-weapon fighting, so I can't remember. Because everyone gets a basic version of it, don't they? Am I right in saying I can't add my modifier to damage for the offhand attack? Is that right?
Correct.
Cool. Just checking before I start rolling.
Because
So,
if you
bonus-
click on the scimitar, is scimitar in offhand?
Scimitar would be in the main hand because it's got nick.
Right. So if your
think.
short sword's offhand, click on it, go to customize. There is an option. There's a little button that says in offhand, and then it does it for you as a bonus action. But
Okay.
yeah, have you moved yourself into a flanking or attempting to go into a flanking position?
Attempting to, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have the movement to, but I couldn't work out.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm
Where?
going to pop you there, dude, because it's got big squares. This has, so it's if that's all right.
As a bonus action, I will cast Hunter's Mark.
Done.
And then because of Nick, I can make the bonus attack with the main attack as an attack action, so I can do both anyway.
2 attacks, 24, 2024, motherfucker. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the scimitar to hit is a 14.
14 is exactly what you need to hit these.
Okay. It takes 9 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
And
second
then
attack.
it will take the Hunter's Mark damage as well.
Yeah.
An additional 3 points of damage.
Okay, that's 12 so far. Mr. Machine, go for it.
And then it's standard to hit, but I changed the damage roll. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's minus the modifier.
16. And you're still not rolling with advantage, Tom. Don't forget you are flanking, so you can.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
I should roll the other one again, really, shouldn't I? To see if I get
16
20.
is.
But
Well, if we do 16 for this one, roll with advantage now, and then we'll apply that to this attack.
okay. Yeah, no.
13 misses, mate. That's a shame. Never mind. Anything else?
It was.
You can't take it all. No, that's everything. I think I
Okay.
all action can't do it out.
Horace, you're on the floor. This wolf's snapping at you.
I would like to. So I think Horace try like just bat this wolf away, almost out of like he's just flinching more than anything else. Bats this wolf away and then gets back up on his feet. And then I'm gonna swing it. I'm just gonna fucking swing straight back at it.
Okay, so you are in a flanking position with the original direwolf with this fella here. If you wish to roll with advantage, so we'll take the prone off you. You half your movement to stand up. I don't think you'll be going anywhere anyway, but go for it.
Yeah, I think he would just swipe at direwolf 3 though, like just out of pure reaction. Yeah. Wing. Is 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Let's go. 10 points of damage.
Nice. Anything else?
Dial 3. I don't know if I can. I'm going to lay on hands on myself. So almost like trying to kind of like soothe myself. Just see me like kind of take it. Lands a hit. Feels a bit of relief in that. I'm like, right, okay, I'm taking control now. Place my hand on my chest, and it's almost like this green glow kind of flows out from my hand and back into my chest. I just kind of take a deep breath in, and then I take my sword again, harden my stance, ready to go.
Nice. I like the fact it's a bonus action now as well.
Hell yeah.
That takes us to Pippa. Go on, Leah. What are you doing?
How do you feel about magic missile?
Sure.
The one that I'm in base to base with, because technically it's ranged, but then I don't roll for anything, so I can't roll at disadvantage for it.
You cannot miss with a magic missile.
Magic missile.
Yeah.
In which case, I will magic missile the one directly in front of me.
Okay. How on? I don't know what you do. I'm doing that horrible Dungeon Master thing. Normally, I just choose 3d4 and then add 3 to it. Instead of clicking 3 times on the what's it, but you please yourself how you would like to roll the damage.
How would you normally?
If you go bottom left, click 3 times on the d4, so you're rolling 3d4. Press roll.
Roll.
Nice.
Boom.
So wow.
Nice.
So
Tell me, is it? I am panic, evidently.
clearly. So what I was going to ask is, what does it look like when you cast Magic Missile? However, I'm going to upgrade that to what does it look like when you kill this direwolf with Magic Missile?
Yeah, so obviously just been jumped, just feeling very, very stressed. Watch a hack go through the back of it, and in one of the magic missiles swings around and goes into the wound that's already there. One directly into its chest, and one straight into the mouth that is growling at me. Just
nice. Anything else from Pippa?
She is going to move. Pippa is going to Foxtrot Oscar. Probably there. Wait. Yes.
Yeah. Tiny.
As far away as humanly possible.
Seems fair.
Doing it.
Which takes us to direwolf number 2, who is going to charge forwards at.
No.
No. It's not. It's. Don't think. No, it couldn't. Its nearest. Its nearest target is Horace. It's going to be another attack with advantage against Horace.
It's the advantage that scares me.
Right. Feel free to check the stream. That's 2 natural ones.
That's positive.
It is. Let's try and reverse that with the original werewolf. He gets an advantage attack. He's going to turn around towards Tala. Yeah, that's going to hit. That's 24 to hit Tala.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better. That's 10 points of damage. You are prone.
Cheese and rice.
Yeah.
Tala's turn.
Not away. Cheeky.
So Tala's gonna stand back up.
Yep.
Just standing up, does it include your action, or does it just include your movement now?
It's half your movement. You know what? I don't know, but it used to be half your movement, so we'll call it that. And while I research it, you tell me what you're doing with your turn.
So yeah, she's gonna take another whack with the warhammer.
Okay. You may roll with advantage.
Whoop, whoop. 23.
23 hits, and your damage is...
Oh,
Nice. Maximum damage.
full damage.
This is solid hit, solid thunk as you connect. Anything for a bonus action?
Yes, I would like to use healing word on myself.
Yeah, seems fair. Okay, well, you can sort that, Sammi. That takes us to werewolf number 3. It's going to hold its position and attack Horace. Horace. Oh, that's going to hit 24.
Woof, yeah.
13 points of damage.
What the fuck?
And you are prone. Farrow.
Thought that was
So
it then.
Farrow's seeing Tala is in danger. He's just gonna 15 feet straight into the face of this direwolf.
Yeah.
His bonus action, he's gonna move his hunter's mark.
Done.
And then he's gonna twab it in the face with his scimitar, hopefully, and his short sword, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Rag.
So that's 22 to hit.
22 hits.
For 10 points slashing damage.
Yeah.
And 2 points of hunter's mark damage.
Okay, how would you like to kill that one?
So I think he's kind of running through and just decapitates it effectively. Just kind of comes in from the side straight down with the scimitar.
Nice.
However, I can't continue to move and make the second attack, can I?
No, it has to be the same creature.
Because it's part of the same action. So I can't interrupt an attack action with move, can I?
No. Well, you can, yeah. But...
Can I?
Yeah, so if you had...
moving, but you wouldn't be able to use the attack.
Read... Is it Nick? Read Nick again for me.
It's Nick. When you make the extra attack of the light property, you can make it as part of the attack action instead of as a bonus action. This extra attack can only be made once per turn.
Yeah, seems fair to me. You can move in it something else. You've used your bonus action, so you can't attack again. But
Yeah.
it does turn first level characters into machines, though, doesn't it? That Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I abandoned the pike and went for the scimitar.
54, baby.
Go for it.
So I'll offhand with the short sword.
Yeah.
Which is going to miss with the 12. What can you do?
Okay. Is what it is. That takes us to Horace.
I think it's going to be a rinse and repeat. He's like on his back, like, oh, fuck. Not again. He's hurting. But he's going to, again, like, dust himself off, almost like use his sword to stand back up again. And he's just going to, like, take another big swing at this Direwolf 3 that keeps going at him. And he's just getting increasingly more annoyed.
Go for it. Come on, Josh.
Come on.
Come on, Josh.
Yeah. 22 to hit.
22 hits your
Yes.
damages.
Let's go. 2d6 plus 3. Make them big, make them juicy. 11 damage.
Nice.
Okay, that is a
Ah.
solid hit. Yes, mate?
I am going to, once again, lay on hands on stuff as well before.
Okay,
I forget.
sure. That is a solid hit. You've carved through its flank, opened up and spilled part of its innards out, but it's still... it's probably going to be a Hail Mary for it. It's going to possibly have one more attack, depending on what the rest of you do. Pippa's turn.
Firebolt. At the one that's really, really hurt.
Tidy.
I heard,
Hopefully.
I heard fireball and I was like,
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
man, it's coming, guys. If I survive long enough, and I promise to try not to hit you with my future fireballs, but my firebolt should be okay if it
Thank
hits.
Come on.
thank you.
It's 25.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come
Okay.
on.
Boop. That one. The hurty one. Just.
You, I mean, roll your damage if you like. It's you.
Oh.
I'll be honest.
Oh,
It's on
thank
one
you.
hit point. You're going to kill it, but 6.
5. I want to set it alight. No, I don't want to set it alight. That's PTSD from a previous campaign I've played where I set a wolf on fire and it went really wrong. But yeah, just straight in its face.
Cool.
Firebolt.
Tidy. Okay.
And
yeah.
then-
Explodes around it. Yeah. So yeah. Carry on.
Where is everyone else? Is that them all dispatched now? Or is there one
no,
left?
you still got to. Yeah, you still
Oh,
got
that
die
dude.
wolf too.
Oh, they look like they're looking at me. I do not appreciate that. I'm going to move again. So he's going to kind of circle towards, staying far away, but circle to like in the general direction of the group, like anti-clockwise, but still staying far away.
Cool. So that takes us to the direwolf. Who's going to attack Horace. It's a normal attack now because he hasn't got any fellows. Oh, it's 20 though. Dirty 20.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just 5 points of damage. You are prone.
All right. That's okay.
Just before you have your go, I'm gonna ask a horrible Dungeon Master question. How were you back on 12, Josh?
Lay on hands. You can just use as many
You've only
as you
got
want, right?
5 hit points worth.
Yeah, but you can. So you have a pool that has. Is that not how it works? From my understanding, that's how I thought it worked. So I have five sets of 5 hit points, and I thought when you use it as a bonus action, you can use as many of those as you want. It's only 1.
5 sets of 1. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, in that case, I'm 5 less, so I'm still up.
Yeah.
Still up. That's all that matters.
Sorry, my bad.
It's no. It's all right, mate. I know. It's just because I saw it and I thought you can't be that high, and I kind of knew what you'd done. But don't worry. So come on, Sammi, tell us turn.
Yeah, so Tala is going. Can I reach? Oh no, the thing is missing. 5, 10, 15, 20. Would that put me
Yes.
in flanking again, Dave, or not?
Yes, mate. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Smack tactics.
Come on.
Yeah. So smack tactics, holding up the shield to try and defend myself from any sharp edges.
Yep.
And go in with an uppercut again, once again with the Warhammer.
Go for it.
23.
23 hits. And your damage is
Damn.
6.
6. Anything else?
No.
Farrow.
You preempted my bonus action there, Dave. Thank you very much. Can I stand on top of Horace? And he's prone.
Yes. Tell you what. Make an acrobatics check for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to set your DC at 10. Fine.
16.
Yeah. So you nimbly sort of dance between Horace's limbs and sword as you make your attacks, but then I'll ask you to move wherever you, next to it, wherever you want. So you're rolling with advantage.
Excellent. Here comes a Simsart. It's a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Well, so 9 points of slashing and 5 points of force.
14, machine. Right, go on.
And then short sword. I've
Yeah.
only rolled that once. I don't know. Hits.
Yeah.
For 3 points of piercing.
It's just 2d6, isn't it, when you hit with the offhand? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I'll get the hunter's mark as well, won't I?
Yeah, you will, yeah.
And 2 points of force.
How would you like to kill it?
So I think he cuts down its back leg. Then as it kind of turns, he just rams his short sword through its heart.
Nice.
Whoa. Nice.
And kind of pulls it out.
So as you pull it out, blood splatters on the floor as you start thinking about cleaning your weapons and sorting yourself out and making sure you're okay. You now hear these howls again. These howls from Pippa would know north, in the distance, to the east, closer, to the south, very, very close. The only open way through the mists, the only open way that isn't through the mists is to the west. What do you want to do?
So he's going to sheathe his short sword. He's going to offer Horace a hand up.
Horace will accept.
And then he's going to run and grab his bow. and he's just going to say, I suggest we start running.
Okay.
So west was the only way that we could go, sorry.
Well, unless you want to run through the mists.
I would shout to Pippa, run, 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 run.
Okay. So running west, which is where we will finish the session for this evening. Ladies
Nice.
and gentlemen.
My goodness.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank